Are you ready to transform your summer into an epic splash-tastic adventure? Say goodbye to wasteful, single-use water balloons and hello to the ultimate in reusable, eco-friendly fun with reusable water balloons. Check out the link in the video description to get yours on Amazon today.
A child who fled Cyprus 50 years ago as a refugee and came to Britain has shared he is still haunted by the ordeal he suffered back home. Property developer John Christodoulou, 59, became a billionaire but says he would give it all up to get his country back. John lived in the capital Nicosia until he was 9 years old. But his family fled in 1974 when Turkey attacked the eastern Mediterranean island. Today marks the 50th anniversary of the start of an invasion which created 160,000 other Greek Cypriot refugees. Cyprus is now a holiday hotspot with beautiful beaches and cheap beer. But the conflict has frozen and left the island scarred with a buffer zone down its middle and different governments in control on either side. Everything from new cars to dishes in the sink lie abandoned in an eerie 118-mile stretch of land that divides the north and south of Cyprus. Mogul John said he remembers bombs falling and seeing parachutes in the sky as he was with his mother and sister after school on July 20, 1974. He told our channel, "My mother was holding me and my sister. We were walking home and the sirens came out really loud. All of a sudden bombs are dropping. You've got the parachutes coming out of the big planes. And as a kid of 8 years old, you couldn't believe what was going on. My mother pretty much pulled us towards the tree that we could take refuge. The house right next to where I lived was bombed, just next door. It is a day very hard to forget." He said his family had to shelter with 40 others in a small, cramped basement for a day. Turkey seized control of the northern third of the island over the space of a month, causing the Greek Cypriots there to flee to the south. Thousands of Greek Cypriots went missing as Turkey as prisoners of war and victims of the invasion. Homes once lived in by Greek Cypriots were eventually given away to migrating Turks and whole villages became abandoned. John said, "People don't know where their parents are. People don't know where their kids are. The worst bit is not knowing. I know guys whose families were raped during this." John said that his father's appliance store was broken into by Turkish soldiers and robbed. His family, from north of Nicosia, then fled to the southern city of Larnaca where they stayed a year before moving to Britain. Cyprus has been controlled by a number of different empires since about 1000 BC. Those include the Phoenicians, ancient Greeks, the Romans, the Venetians, the Ottomans, and the British. Cyprus received its independence from Britain in 1959. But ethnic violence then erupted between Greek Cypriots and the Turkish Cypriots on the island. On top of the violence were geopolitical tensions between Aegean rivals Greece and Turkey. The Republic of Cyprus was established in 1960 with representation of both Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots built into the highest levels of government. But President Macarius introduced amendments to the constitution in 1963 which would have favored the Greeks. In response, Turkish Cypriots began to withdraw from the decision-making process with violence subsequently increasing. That crisis forced 25,000 Turkish Cypriots out of their homes and into enclaves, while 364 were killed. 174 Greek Cypriots were also killed. A buffer zone was drawn down the island in 1964 to prevent more violence, known as the Green Line, with a deployment of UN troops. Over the next decade fighting regularly broke out with Turkey threatening to invade the island. In 1974, a coup was staged by Greek Cypriot nationalists who wanted to make Cyprus part of Greece, at that time under a dictatorship. In response, Turkey occupied the island up to the Green Line, where the country remains divided to this day. Both sides frame the war differently, with Greek Cypriots describing Turkey's actions as an invasion while Turkish Cypriots say it is an intervention following the ethnic conflict over the previous decade. "My father decided there is no security, no future, so he takes us to the UK. But it wasn't easy for the family, with John's dad having to do what he could to make ends meet." John said, "It was very difficult for my mum, she's lost her sisters, her relatives, she's gone to a strange place. I'm a 9-year-old kid, I only know so much, but my eyes opened up at how everyone, in the UK, was happy, how they lived.